I wish I could give you something in return. Oh, if you find any blades, cherish them.
Where we left off is you guys were heading up to Alcyone's home, the Underbow. Is there a name for it? You said it last time, but
the Hearth.
The Hearth, yes. In the quaint and idyllic town of Wyvern Glen. So you stand before the home. What would you like to do?
You were knocking.
Knock. I'm not gonna knock.
Even Kashek realizes that this is an important knock for Surrie. He gives her.
Okay, knock.
Hyros opens the door, standing before you, a towering, having to lean down a little bit even in to avoid hitting his tops of his horns on the door frame. And
Who should I
says,
look at?
Oh, welcome home.
Hi.
And he just takes you and crushes you in his big old fucking arms. Not to do damage.
I know.
He's done this a lot.
I know.
But I could.
Big cook.
And then he will actually go to Alcyone next, and she just a noise of protest, but immediately gets enfolded in the arms as well. And he picks her up and brings her inside, and just sort of gestures at all of you to come along as well. Come, I will give the rest of you hugs once we get in.
Oh, to be 30 and still have your dad pick you up. Yeah.
Arms pinned to the side.
So you make your way into the. Do you want to give us an overview?
Sure.
Of the inside of the Hearth?
This is the coziest place you've ever been. I don't care where you fucking been. This is the coziest place you've ever fucking been. This is the combined efforts of Hyros' lumberjacking and Rhea's knowledge of when to stop jacking the lumber.
Hyros, that's way too much,
Hold on,
Jack.
we need to pause.
Slow down, Maurice.
Together is this incredibly comfortable home, and you know Hyros has been here for much of the year since rebuilding Dawnstead, so he's been sort of nesting once again, I suppose you could say.
Getting reacquainted after so long away.
Yes. But inside, so there is a main hall. That makes it sound too grand. This first floor here is almost entirely one large room, but there is a kitchen area, a sitting area with a fireplace, a very large fireplace. Yes. The hearth, for which perhaps the hearth is named. And just wooden chairs and benches all over this fucking place. There are cushions on many of them, but this place looks as if, like, someone couldn't help but make places to sit.
Good woody house.
Yes.
I'd hope so.
Yes. And so he'll just, holding his eldest daughter, like a child in his arms, pinned at her side, muffling against his bicep. Please, come, seat yourselves. I will make something for you to eat. I did not know to expect you today. He's smiling ear to ear. I am very happy to have you. I will put this one down where she sits.
Did you get our letters?
I did, yes. I got the letters. I did not know you were coming for so very soon, so you will forgive me for not being quite as prepared as perhaps I could have been otherwise.
It's okay.
As he says this, he deposits Alcyone in a chair that is clearly too small for her. And he goes and slaps on an apron and moves to the kitchen and you're next. And goes ahead and gives you a back-cracking hug, Seren.
Oh, that felt really good.
You could use that. You're looking a bit tense. Master Kashek, would you like one?
They're actually quite comforting.
Is this expected?
No. It feels nice if you're into that sort of thing.
You may tap out whenever you like. I'll go in and fold you in a nice hug.
Brittle bones.
Oh, yes, I understand. Well, there you are. Welcome to my home. First time you've been here, I think.
Indeed.
Very exciting. So he goes and ties his apron on. I will go ahead and rustle up. There's some good, we have some venison left over from an excellent town meeting the other night, so I will make that work.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
while
so
he busies himself, I'm just going to lean over to Seren.
He must be very wealthy to be able to afford all of this wood.
I don't think that's the case, actually. He makes most of it himself.
Well, yes, but to get this supply.
Oh, think of it as if it were all made of sand where you're from.
Oh. Yes, I suppose that explains all the trees outside.
Alcyone from a small chair. Yeah, that's sort of, we're kind of in the forest for the trees here.
You own these trees?
No, but, well, he does a lot of the clearing of them and the moving of many of them from town, and we replant them, of course, to make sure there's more of them. Otherwise, they're going to run out eventually.
Yes, very sustainable lumber practices.
I need you to describe what this apron looks like.
Oh, the apron itself, fun fact, is a little bit smaller than you might think for someone of Hyros' size. And as you look closer, you see that it is very worn.
Tell us why the old apron is small and worn, Ian.
You gather this might be an underbow family apron.
Oh my god.
Having belonged to his mother's, the halfling's underbow.
Oh my god.
Oh, so my joke stands up then. It doesn't say kiss the cook, it says kiss the wife.
It does. It has. It actually has two small painted handprints on it.
All right, I will get. I will also. My dear, we have company. They have come a little early, you know. And also, tell the boy that he should make himself presentable.
So you hear footsteps coming down the stairs behind you. This is multi-story, yes?
Yeah. 2-story.
Yep, and so coming down the stairs behind you, you see Rhea emerging from the floor above. Also, wide smile and grin on her face as she comes to see you all. Lovely to have you all back again. We are always so pleased to house you. I would offer you something, but I am sure my husband is already making an 8-course meal for you all.
8 steps ahead as always, my dear.
He goes and gives her a little peck on the cheek.
Is the boy there as well?
Yeah, coming down shortly afterwards, not perhaps quite presentable, you see the shirtless form of a gentleman you met over the past year, Adrastos.
Oh.
His pale seafoam green skin and noticeably wooden hands and half of one of his arms. Wandering downstairs, I thought I said make yourself presentable. We have guests, Adrastos. This is not your hideaway hole. He's sort of... Good to see you all again.
Hi, Justice. Hi, Rhea.
Good day.
He just goes and makes himself comfortable on the couch.
So, I am so glad to have you here. Very excited. I hope you are sitting down. You sit down, please. Be sitting down.
I'm sitting on the floor, but I look very comfortable.
I'm also sitting on the floor.
He looks at you and just sort of gestures to the...
I really like the floor.
Well, I made the floor too, so that works. That's fine.
I had that first.
I am not offended.
Offended.
But you must tell me all about what has happened. And he comes and he brings over a tray, a charcuterie board that, like, would make the gods envious.
I love it here.
Eat, please. You all look far too famished. Please.
Right. Where do we start?
We've been busy.
Remember how every time we get invited to dinner, someone gives us some chores?
Oh yes, chores or tried to kill us.
Well, good news.
Mm.
It was the first one. And the second one. Oh, I'm really not good at this.
Well, they did not succeed yet, so that's definitely good.
Cast a little sidelong glance at Ms. Pink. Oh, right, the beginning.
You can make it short if you want. If I wanted a long one, I'd ask Alcyone for it.
To hear it told, you have all now become quite important at the capital. Here I thought you were just going for dinner, and now it seems you are the heroes of the entire Republic.
Yeah, we thought so too.
So, the three, the Duchesses and Duke, the three siblings, are... The Republic's at a bit of an odds with itself, trying to choose one ruler from between the three of them, and so the first thing they needed us to do was win the trust of the people, and so there was a worm involved in that has now ceased to breathe.
Oh, how big was this worm? I assume larger than your usual garden variety.
It was very big.
It was huge, and it was
It
purple,
actually-
and it ate Surrie for a minute.
And Alcyone as well.
It did eat me for about like half a minute.
But obviously that didn't work out.
Can I make a quick perception check?
Sure, what are you trying to perceive?
And if I need to make 2, that's fine. I want to watch Hyros' reaction when he finds out that Surrie and Alcyone were in danger.
This isn't like
Okay, sure.
this isn't like an insight check. I'm just watching his face.
Sure, go for it.
22.
What do you think, Hyros?
He doesn't like immediately go into full protective mode, which you might gather you've heard what he's done in the intervening year beforehand. But he does have a just sort of like glad you made it out all right kind of look to him. Yeah.
Okay.
I heard the version of it.
Right, so then there was the worm, and once that was done, they need us to do individual tasks for all three of them in order to gain public favour for each sibling. And eventually the one that we back the most will hopefully become the ruler. So I don't... Surrie, do you want to take over?
Well, sure. We did the worm. We killed the worm.
Not the dance. I hear that is a dance.
Yes, but not that, no. Then we went back to the capital. We did have dinner, and there was, I suppose, an uninvited guest. That's 3 of them, actually. And they popped out of statues. A statue. Just one statue, my bad.
There was a big commemorative statue made for the occasion, and it a bit exploded.
It exploded.
Was everyone alright?
Alcyone made sure that, and Kashak made sure that everyone was well.
What did I tell you? I told you should have gone all the way to the capital with them.
If I had been there, I know I would have gotten a face full of it, so I likely would have been in the way.
Our friend Angiers did. He's alive, but he was right next to it when it did explode. But
He was a nice man.
He was, yes.
He talked an awful lot, but he
Yes,
was a
he did.
nice man.
So that happened. And what did they say? They were like,
I don't know if you've heard any of the stories coming from Caradhran lately, but some kind of entity from below the ground is making a power play, I suppose, for the Republic. Something about enslaving all of the people there.
Oh goodness, that sounds awful.
Surrender now or have your entire existences snuffed before you. You kind of know the drill.
That is what happened. Ooh.
that's what they said. Basically, they were like, resistance is futile, give up now because we're in service to this.
So you're not going to Caradhran then?
Well, luckily there is one less of those 3 than we saw.
Right.
We did deal with one of them.
We killed one.
Did you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am proud of you for surviving through that and also for making the world a little safer in the process. Someone who is clearly bent on such things cannot be a good soul.
Anyway, we were doing a task for one of the successors in the Gow Plains.
Oh, yes. Far away.
Rather far, yes. That's actually where we've just come from.
Have you? So much walking. My goodness, you must have very strong legs now.
Roundabout speaking. And then I kind of look over at Surrie.
We have horses. We have horses.
Oh, excellent. Well, we'll make sure they're taken care of here. That will not be a problem.
No trouble in trading, I hope. I've heard things about some of the members of the clergy down there. Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Can I make an insight check on Surrie?
Sure.
Is she like, yeah, I want to come out with it now, or is she like, actually, I want to have a private conversation?
That one.
They're like,
Would I know that with an 11 insight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as you're looking at me, I'm looking right into your eyes, and I'm like, not here, no.
Right. Actually, we did run up against him a bit, but we had a bit of a close call, but everything seemed in order eventually.
You are being very cryptic, Seren.
I don't know if I'm getting any information from this.
Well, there's not really a whole lot to tell. It's kind of a boring story, kind of a boring place. We fought there was this big cow thing made of meat.
It was really
Well, the cows were always made of meat. It was also made of mushrooms.
It was mostly
Bumbling this.
mushroom, and it was sort of like...
That sounds like a fine recipe for a stew.
You know, we had some, and it wasn't as awful as you would think.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't we hear, darling, wasn't there some sort of, there was some, a plague, a blight out there, yes? Some sort of bad business with the crops.
So I have been told our usual shipments of wheat have not been coming in for the past few weeks.
We've eaten a lot of deer.
Good news.
We took care of it. We did.
You did.
That's why we were sent to Traben, yes.
But look at you making the world a better and brighter place, and he goes over to Alcyone and just sort of like, just kind of, not ruffles her hair, but just kind of like goes to like do a fatherly pat and shit. Yeah, thanks, that's nice, Dad.
Just look at her like...
For those who cannot see, there's a lot of silent sibling mimery happening. Oh, and then after Traben, we were just in Veradine for a moment.
Right.
And we helped a swampy fellow put on an opera concert.
Swampy fellow. That's also cryptic, but I like
You
it.
might call him a troll.
It was a troll. He lived in the swamp.
A troll. Oh, there must be good trolls and bad trolls in this world.
Well, this one had eaten an opera singer.
He was morally grey, this troll. He ate people, but only when they threatened him. So it was sort of self-defense. Well, except maybe the opera singer. That was a while
I think
ago.
eating the opera singer kind of helped him along the moral compass.
Sure.
He may have only really gained a sense of decency upon eating the person. Can we blame him for what he did before?
I'm not blaming anyone.
No.
I'm not going to go to Veradine and pass judgment on a troll.
I don't actually remember a troll's intelligent.
Ish.
Okay.
They threatened him, and so he ate them. I mean...
Oh, that's right.
We fight people who threaten us.
Don't usually eat them, but we don't have those tools.
But... Right. But he had a beautiful voice, and we put on a concert, and... Yeah.
A troll concert.
Yes.
Oh, I would like to see that, I think. Marvelous. And now you've come here. Oh, it's so good to have you all home. And are you coming? I appreciate the visit, of course, and you said you were coming to stay, but for how long? Or where are you going after this?
I believe we're going to Malorn next.
We have business for one of the successors in Malorn, yes.
Oh. Well, then you may just run into Muse while you were there.
Oh.
Yes, she has one of her flights of fancy, which I always encourage in my children. Mm-hmm. And so that's where she is for now, discovering some things about various terrifying plants that I do not possibly comprehend. Things that would chop you back if you tried to chop them, you see.
Oh, sure. We've got a little bit of experience, actually, the cows.
Oh,
We're
right.
also sort of plants. Fungus.
They're sounding less appetizing. Though I am curious.
If this awkward pause falls in the conversation the same way it has at the table, I just am like, my default is to like, at Surrie.
Well, why don't you eat in the meantime? You're probably exhausted. I don't want to make you go through all of it once again. You need to rest. You can stay for as long as you need. We have plenty of spare beds at the moment. Only at Rastos' home now. But we have all this room all over the place. Perfectly comfortable here. Oh! All right. Anyway, and he just straightens his apron real quick. And he goes to the door, opens it.
The boys and the berries were fit to burst. If we did not put them in a pie soon, they would have grown legs and walked away. So we thought we'd bring one over to you, my boy.
Oh, Mama, yes, very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come in. There are friends here, Mama. You must come in. Come in.
You said they were dead!
Yeah, carefully.
It's okay. You alright?
No!
Sorry, I stood up and
No,
my
I'm
knees
okay.
came out. Oh my god.
Yeah, so coming into the entry are two elderly-looking halfling ladies. Do you want to give us a...
You said they were dead!
Did I?
Yes, you did. You were telling me.
My mistake. That was a mistake. Redact that.
Oh my
You
god.
have grandmas!
No, it's redacted. You cancel.
Yeah, so one of strawberry blonde hair and one of fiery, though one got a bit more gray than red hair. Two elderly halfling ladies totted their way in. Yeah, one of them holding a boysenberry pie.
Oh my god.
Evidently.
Are they plump?
Not unreasonably so for halfling.
They're about as cozy down-home halfling as you're gonna expect. Like, they look like they should be named, like,
What are
Daddy
they
Two Foot. Like, that's you know, a fucking... They belong in the Shire, 100%.
What are they named?
Yeah, their heads are huge.
My friends, let me introduce you to my mothers. I will use your names only to introduce you, of course. This is Ginny, and this is Maeve.
Oh, Maeve, look at Alcyone is back from her big exciting trip to the city. And the other one. Too skinny, give me the pie. Yes!
I was like, one of these bitches better be fucking Italian.
Mom, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
Mom,
she
you
walks
don't-
over to Alcyone and takes a big scoop out of the pie and shoves
Mom,
it
I'm a
into
grown
Alcyone.
woman.
My cheeks are hurting from a phantom grandma pinch. Oh, you have no
Asana
idea.
just takes this fork and just...
Ginny on the end. Oh, Kushka, it's so good to see you again. And
Just thanks, Mom. Thanks
double
you.
pinch to both
Thanks.
the cheeks
I'm
full
sorry.
of pie.
Thanks so
What
much.
does she call her?
Kushka, come to Grandmama.
Does
Get up, go over.
Mr. Man react when he hears that?
The baby?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where is he? What have you done with him?
What have you done with it?
Where is he?
Oh, he's just.
Wait, that was my boy.
He's still on the boat.
Is he too big
No.
to be shirted now?
Yeah, he's like the size of an English bulldog.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's just been kind of like hanging out.
He doesn't seem to react, but he's taken a distinct interest in these two ladies coming in and sort of watching them with wide eyes, especially eyeing the pie.
Okay, well then I have my hand on his head like,
Yeah, goes without saying they're both half the height of Hyros.
I'm in pain.
Yeah,
Come, give Jim a big kiss. Mwah!
Mama, I'm wearing your apron, as of course always I do.
Yes, that is my big strong boy. Good. She kind of like starts rubbing his elbow. The big strong boy, go away so good
Thank
in
you,
the
Mom.
kitchen.
Thank you, Mom. Please, have some food over here. It's out for the guests. You are guests.
No, we do the food now. You sit with friends.
I-
Maeve and I, we go into kitchen.
Do you want to borrow the apron while you're...
No, it looks so handsome, I would not rob.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mama.
And they immediately begin bustling into the kitchen, and you hear a whirling of clinking pots and pans and silverware all abounding like a hurricane's going through.
Hyros goes to sit down in a gorgeous armchair that you assume he probably hand-carved himself.
we spent a month in Barovia and you never once mentioned your mothers.
Oh, I must have mentioned them between
Well, then
dying and being around all sorts of things.
Then you neglected to convey how absolutely delightful they are.
Well, I've known them for all my life, so perhaps the novelty for me is not as much as it is for you. My apologies. Well, I hope you enjoy them and enjoy their cooking. They can hear everything, though, so don't think you are hiding a word from them.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Just to be sure, I've learned that lesson many times the hard way.
What were you trying to hide from your mothers, Iros?
You lived in a monastery.
Right. Oh. Right. Okay.
He just smiles in Rhea's direction.
Ew, sorry, those were our parents.
It is so good to have you all here. Very excited. Now, I know you were on business, of course, but you have come so urgently and so soon to us, yes?
Well,
Well, this is on the way to Malorn.
Is it? Oh,
Sort of.
I don't know if
Well-
I've actually been to Melor myself. But that makes sure if it makes sense.
Yeah.
South it is then.
And I missed you.
Oh, we've greatly missed you too, and he just gives you an enormous side hug there. Adrastos from his entire couch that he's lounging upon. I thought it was pretty quiet here, personally. Liked it a lot.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
That's
Alright, weird.
oh, this is just Ian wearing a tiefling suit.
God, I wish Torek was here. Oh, I like this one.
He's just sent a very non-damaging, but just a very slight shock your direction.
Yeah, thanks. Alright.
Well, this has been delightful, but I have some work to do upstairs, so if you can find me once dinner is here. He grabs like an entire half of a log of venison.
Oh gosh, wash your wooden hands, would you?
He snaps and they're both prestidigitated clean. Shoves its mouth.
So smart, this one.
Barrels up the stairs, hands and feet. He's not wearing shoes.
Yes,
He's not wearing a
hands and
shirt.
feet.
He's only wearing his shorts.
All right,
Oh,
be
that's-
careful.
There he is. That's Ian.
He is mad because I hid his hands in the woodshed last Tuesday.
That seems. What did he do without his hands?
Oh, he has enough of the magics he knows to get by without them. And he thinks that no one else can handle it, but he forgets that Mama can do spells, I can do spells. I mean, honestly, everyone except... Well, no, only apart from us, then only Muse can, but he's not the greatest wizard in the world, so...
Give him some time.
That's what we're afraid of.
Yeah.
Ginny pokes her head back out from out of the kitchen. Rhea, darling, you look so beautiful, have I not said already? But you organize your spices in such an interesting way. Could you please point me in the direction of your cardamom?
Mama,
Why? It is a simple question.
it is not a simple question.
I just want to know if the cardamom is so I can do a nice meal for you all.
Rhea, go easy on them.
It's no problem. I'm coming, Jenny. I'll give you all a chance to catch up. It is really, truly so good to see you all again. And she turns gracefully and makes her way towards the kitchen.
Hyros just watches her with love in his eyes walk away.
I hate to see you go, but I love to
my
watch you leave, baby.
No. Yeah, she does wear like a very, like a cotton kind of kimono type deal. Not like any sort of pattern type thing, but like...
Like a wrap dress.
Yeah, a wrap dress is what I mean. Kimono's the only one I know. It's, obviously there's others.
Mhm.
Closer to kimono than a Greek chiton, but, you know.
Well,
No, what are your secrets?
You just told me not to say any secrets out loud because your mother's a frightening hearing.
Right, but now Rhea is involved. And they love her more than they even love me, so their focus has been drawn.
Hyros, if maybe, you and I could take a walk at some point.
Oh, of course, he takes your hand. Of course we can go for a walk. I can show you all the best paths that you did not get to see while you were here because I was too busy feeding you.
Okay, that
Great.
sounds good.
We will go on a walk later after we've eaten. Okay. Because my mother's will not let you leave their sight unless you have had food.
Sure.
And that pie is actually delicious. I do recommend boysenberry pie.
Alright.
You've noticed, or whether you have or have not, I leave it to you, but Alcyone looked a little on the quiet side. Not just because I can only talk as one of them at a time. But that is also the case.
Oh, well, you know what I gotta do now.
Sure.
She's an insight check.
Oh, unfortunately, that insight check is only an 11. Are her eyes lingering on any one person in particular?
No, in fact, she's often not looking at anybody. Just like kind of into the distance. Like staring off.
With an 11, I probably can't tell anything else. Okay.
That's all, yeah. I'll say that's all you can glean from that, probably.
I've been looking
Yes?
at you like that for 10 minutes.
Yes!
I've been looking at you like that since you said, "What are your secrets?"
I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at Hyros.
No, I'm just being stupid. I was like, "What are your secrets, sir?"
Master
You all
Kushek, my
know.
friend, you will forgive me. If any of this is not to your designs, food-wise, I can get something else prepared for you.
He's been picking at the charcuterie. Cured is fine. Cooked is different.
Yeah, this is all mostly cured stuff. so.
Yeah, and he would eat that. It's not like he won't eat like his fill or anything like that, but that's because he doesn't want to spoil his dinner.
I do not know much of you, but I've heard you are a hunter yourself.
Out of necessity.
I understand. That is the only way to hunt, I believe.
Agreed. I'm not fond of what they do for entertainment in the capital.
Oh? Do tell, if you wish.
I was taken on a hunting expedition of a sort with
The Starfalls.
the Starfalls. A man in the capital. He wouldn't know that his own way.
No. Nobles of a sort.
Yes.
I believe that is what they are called. They let loose a fox and asked me to kill it. I did. I did not want to be rude. But I did not understand the point of the exercise.
That does sound very strange indeed. I do not know why such things... You hunt. You are hunting to eat it, I assume. Or to use its spell to make something.
I assumed much the same when I did so, and then they just threw the carcass away.
It is probably just as well I did not come to the capital with all of you then. It would likely be a place I did not very well fit.
Parts of it were enjoyable.
I was
Sorry.
speaking his work too much. It's slipping through.
Surrie won an archery competition.
Did you?
I did.
I am so very proud. That is well done.
Thank you.
Were there many competitors?
Yes.
And you bested them all.
I did.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done indeed. Wish I could have seen it. Very well done indeed. Anything else that happened in the capital of interest? I don't know if I'll ever make it there myself, but I am curious, of course. Any fun things that happened you enjoy? Clearly this...
Oh, Alcyone got to be in a play.
He turns to Alcyone. You got to do it. You performed in the capital. Just, yeah, it was a bit of a favor, the last minute thing. Couldn't send invitations all the way to Wiverland, so it was fine. Not my best. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but
It was certainly the best play I've ever seen.
well, everyone knows the monologue for Miranda de Arcadia, so a bit of a standard. Oh, I'm still as proud of you as I could possibly be, dear Alcyone. Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Yeah.
Kind of looking at Alcyone now.
She just sort of... What do you... Without words. Just kind of what?
Never mind. Without words.
Oh, it is so good to have you all here. I know I'm going to keep saying that throughout the time you're here, but my goodness, it is such... Coming back from home from Barovia to see my family for the first time, that is what this feels like. Getting to see you all again. We went through so much in such a short time, and... I know you have your own lives to lead, you must go places and do things as you do, but we experienced so much life together that to have you absent from it, well, I miss you. To be honest, I do miss traveling. I am so glad to be home. But I dream of what a venture could be. Those first month or two we were on the road, before we got sucked into the mist, of course. Just... trying to be heroes from the stories. And we did it.
The boy, he kind of like does his panda roll off of your lap and lands on the wooden floor with a pleasant thump, and he kind of pads his way over to you, Hyros, and starts walking his 2 feet up the side of your leg and kind of stretches out in that way that cats do up towards you.
Oh, yeah, with the little butts.
Well, you come right here, little one. Puts him in his lap.
And he just sort of like looks up at you and his big eyes kind of go wide and he seems kind of like intent on your face.
I know your big siblings, Magna and Modi. They are delightful. Very dangerous, as you will one day be as well. That's great.
At that, he kind of like swivels his head around and opens his beak a little bit and just begins like lightly biting at the palm of your hand, proving how fierce a warrior he is.
It's so calloused, I'm sure Harvest hardly feels it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. One day you will tear arms from people who deserve it.
That's the key.
We've done our fair share of arm tearing. I cannot judge anymore.
That's true.
Mostly they were zombies. Easier to detach arms, I guess.
If he starts to use the pointy bits, please let me know. He's not allowed.
Oh, I barely feel anything on the right hand anymore. So many splinters I've had to retrieve from this.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, so you, full parent instincts go in with the baby. He's just, like, immediately starts doing the playing things, just messing with him and stuff and rolling him around in his lap. All while talking to you.
As you, he kind of starts to get hyped up like dogs do.
Oh no, you're gonna
As
give
you
him the
tussle him
zoomies.
around, you're starting to give him the
Oh,
zoomies.
he needs this, come.
And he starts kind of like wrestling with. I mean, he's probably like the size of your forearm at this point, so he just kind of starts like wrestling with you, gently kind of nipping at your hand and kind of bear hugging you as a wrestle.
Yeah. So I'll take him to the floor then and just kind of do that little.
Oh, he loves it.
Oh God. Yes, fantastic, beautiful. Oh, he is a spirited boy.
He sure is.
Is there anything new with you, Hyros?
Oh, well, your siblings have come and gone over the course of the past few months.
Everyone in their time, as is the way here at the Hearth, of course. Not much is new. No, we have. He looks back to the kitchen real quick. Some uncomfortable rumors nearby of individuals. What do you call them? Renegades of a sort. For good or bad, I could not say, but they are causing a bit of a disturbance. I do not remember what they are called, but some sort of band of people going about doing things in the region. I don't think they are bandits.
Highwaymen?
Less robbing.
Oh.
I don't know.
What sort of things are they doing?
I only hear whispers that they interfere with some. You understand? We are on the. If we can still be considered part of the Republic, that is news to us. Of course, you understand. But we do our business. They get our lumber. They get their lumber from us. That is what it is. But there are people closer who have been passing word up the trade caravans and boats and such that there are people who are waylaying the wealthy or attempting to fight for what they call freedoms. I do not know. Something to do with Malorn. I am uncertain.
He means the Maith Lane, says Rhea, coming back into the room from beyond the kitchen.
I do not speak Elven, so it is a bit... She does, of course.
Do I recognize what that word means in Elfish?
Yeah, you would. It means the knife's edge.
The knife's edge?
No, that makes even less sense to me.
A band of freedom fighters or terrorists, depending on your point of view. They chafe at the, let's call it, human-centric design of the Republic and wish to restore these lands to elven domination as they were a millennia ago, etc., etc.
Okay.
And we are, of course, no great fan of the Republic as a whole. Barely know its existence, apart from the trade. But, no, they are causing a stir.
For a long time they did not have the numbers to serve as any real credible threat. But recently, to hear the stories tell, their activities have become, let's say, accelerated.
Well,
But if you're heading to Malorn, I'm sure you will hear of them one way or another.
far be it from me to interfere with someone who only wants to lighten some noble's purse, but... Oh, I don't know. Is it common knowledge, like, how did humans become the center of the Republic?
Sure, good question.
Not about to defend some colonizers. You
Give me a
understand?
history check.
Oh boy, I'm bad at those. 11.
That's okay.
So this is ancient history, centuries ago. Originally, the lands that now make up the Arcadian Republic were primarily dominated by elves, and were largely decimated when an invading army from Eurovia, away across the valley, swept through the valley and then the river valley that makes up the Arcadian Republic. You can't remember the specific clan of Eurovians that did so, but that they conquered it, and then Miranda de Arcadia broke away from them and established dominance throughout the valley, and here we are today with Arcadia.
How ancient?
This would be close to a millennia ago.
Things much larger than a small village, you understand. So we only hear the rumors and such. But if you are in Malon, you will learn things, perhaps.
Hopefully we don't look like we've got too hefty of purses while we're on the road.
Oh, well, if you are, I'm sure Alcyone could talk you out of anything. He sort of looks at her. She gives, like, for a second, it looks as though she forgets to respond, and then remembers herself, and you see her smile and nod, sort of cajolingly at her dad.
Cajolingly.
Humoringly, I should
Okay.
say. The opposite of cajole. Well, that is what is new here, at least, but I am experimenting with new blends of spices. It is not going great. But I will not test them on you. Do not fear, I promise.
After we have our lunch, could I interest anyone in a walk along the river? The leaves are just beginning to give the hints of turning.
I think that little one might appreciate the opportunity to stretch his legs.
That's excellent then.
It shall be so. Excellent. Well, and Hearth takes another honk of this, much like Adrastos did, shoves it in his mouth all at once.
So there is already an enormous amount of food on the table, but Maeve and Ginny bring out, God, even more. It looks like an old country buffet, but the food looks appetizing. Anytime you try to stop eating, Maeve and Ginny push another full plate into your laps, so you are all perhaps the fullest you have ever been. And then to digest, as Rhea suggested, you all make your way to a lovely walk along the riverbank.
Yeah.
As we go, I am doing my best to try to hang back from pink and blue.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna hang back with blue.
Oh, okay. Then if I see Surrie doing that, I'm gonna power walk it a little bit.
You are all trying very hard to avoid each other. Got it.
Rhea would have an excellent sense for
I imagine she would.
anything of that nature.
Me too.
Then I let Mr. Bulldog-shaped man go.
He immediately begins trundling off. He's better at walking now. His back legs have caught up a little bit, but he is still in sort of his awkward teen phase. But he does love running through the underbrush, and he immediately face plants into the river. Loves the water.
We had a bit of a run-in with a skunk on the way, so I assume he will not go too far, but if he does, I am going to have to run after him.
That is a lesson you only need to learn once.
You would think so.
You are very witty, Seren.
Thank you. I hardly ever try.
Well, that is what makes you so witty.
She does make the banter at least passable during our travels.
Not that any of us can compete with you on that score outside.
With such training, I'd better be good.
Month, day, time. Alcyone said I make banter passable.
Dear diary, today was great. Yeah, so you walk along the river. What do you do? What do you talk about?
I'm trying to give Surrie and Hyros adequate space.
Did she say the leaves were turning?
Let's see. We started our campaign in kind of late summer. So now it's like fall is beginning to come around. So and we're pretty much as far north as you can go. So some of the leaves are beginning to get hints of reds and oranges.
Not quite falling yet.
Not quite.
Not just colors.
Are your trees ill?
Asking Rhea?
Yeah.
Well, no, they are doing as nature intended them to do.
All of the trees I have seen so far in this lush land have been green.
Yes, well, when the winter comes around, it is a terrible strain keeping leaves upon their boughs.
Who is
And
winter?
when it gets cold and snow falls from... I see.
Kashek, have you never seen snow?
What?
Count your blessings.
I'm still on winter. Who is snow?
Best boy.
Well, in the capital you will rarely see it, so I'm afraid you shall go without it a little bit longer. But if you were to travel back here, we get the light dusting every once in a while in
It's
the dead of the
horrid.
season.
It's terrible. Imagine rain but colder.
How cold?
Cold enough that the rain becomes solid.
Cold as a desert night?
Probably yes.
I don't do well in the cold.
Me neither.
Don't worry, I'll make sure we're back to the capital by the time the cold rolls around.
I need to visit the seamstress again and get warmer clothing.
It won't be so cold while we're here, unless we stay for a very long time. But yes, the leaves, they will change colors once every year, and then they will fall down, and the new ones will grow.
I don't understand.
Honestly, not my expertise. Mum or Muse could tell you way more than I could.
I'm interested in this Muse person.
Oh, I think you'd like her. If you like nature stuff, you'd like her. She's
Interesting.
weird.
He can't smile.
His eyes.
Yeah.
Crinkly.
Leaves fall from the trees for the same reason that a bubble is round, Kashek. Because it works. And because it is what is best for them in that moment.
This is the wisest woman in the world.
That's the thought that just went through his mind. He's like, holy shit, somebody that speaks English.
You all there could have been someone talking the entire time.
These people have been teaching me about knocking in plates.
We're talking about real shit here, Bubbles.
But I must admit, new friend Kishak, I'm very curious about your desert homeland. Could you tell me of it?
What would you like to know?
Anything you're willing to give?
I'm willing to give anything you might want.
Well,
We might be here a while.
Yeah, I'll mediate if you need.
So he's like, I wonder if I jump into this river.
Well, one night I counted all of the grains of sand that I could.
I got to 7.
No.
I fell asleep.
It's very boring.
Kind of have to make your own entertainment in the desert.
Kishak and Rhea go down that river
Yeah.
for a while. What are the rest of you doing?
I've taken. Oh,
I was just gonna say to Seren, I see what Surrie's trying to do. Let's keep a little bit forward. I'll stick with you and little man.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that, and Hyros will rather obliviously hang back with you.
I'll take his arm like this.
If you want, I could crouch a bit.
No, that's all right.
It's not a problem.
It's okay.
If you'd prefer, I could lift you to my height.
You want the piggyback ride?
Maybe.
All right.
So there's something I want to tell you.
Is it about me, Lavage? Because I can tell him if it's not going to happen. I can.
No.
I don't mind.
No, it's not that.
All right.
Thank you.
No, of course. It's much closer from here to wherever you are for me to get to Barovia. You are busy.
It's just, while we were in Traben, we did get into some trouble. It's more than I really... I just wanted to tell you alone.
Take your time.
Like Rhea said, the priest there, he's horrible.
I believe you. We met many horribles.
Not unlike some we do in Barovia. He uses the people there and he manipulates them and he is able to make them believe anything he wants them to.
With magic.
With magic, and just that's the way he is. He can speak to them and they just believe what he says. I don't know if he believes this himself, but he says he's an avatar of the Luminary and his work is the Luminary's work and all that sort of thing. But the plague, he knew sort of what was causing it, and it was sort of the cause of it himself. There was this fae who had come to the town, and she just wanted to help them grow things. And because she was different, he turned the town against her, and they tried to burn her, but she got away, and so sort of as revenge, she had started the plague, and so he knew this, and he still he wanted to let it ride out, and he was going to starve those people.
Yeah, Hyra stops at this point and sits down on the bank and pats the grass next to him.
It sounds like a very bad man indeed.
He is. He still lives.
That sounds like remarkable restraint on your part.
Yes.
I am kidding.
You were right. But so we fixed the plague and we found this girl, Felicity was her name, the Fae.
It's a lovely name.
And so we stopped it, and that was when we fought the Herald. And
The
then
Herald.
the powerful being who came in the statue.
I see.
They
I did
called
not
him.
know.
Sorry, They called themselves the Heralds.
Heralds. Oh, goodness me. That sounds... Well... Anyway, you were saying. I don't mean to interrupt.
It's okay. So we fixed it, and we went back to Traben. Honestly, I don't really know why. I guess to try and make him see sense and tell the people that he was wrong and the plague was fixed now and it wasn't his doing, but that obviously didn't happen. He told us to leave and to never come back and to never say anything about what he was doing to anyone, least of all those in the capital.
I'm sure you took that well.
We were going to leave. We were on our way out. And he had heard the mayor of the town, the mayor was the one who had told us all about Felicity in the first place.
A good man this mayor was.
Yes, very good. But Father Cochran, the priest, obviously did not think so and got his revenge on the mayor, and he hurt him and he hurt the mayor's friend. So we were taking the mayor out of town, and we were on our way out, and we were going to go without a fight, we really were. But the mayor lost his temper and he charged at the father, and we couldn't leave him alone, he would have died.
It's very brave of you.
So we fought. I was so angry at him, at the father. The way he treats those people is awful, and
It did not go well.
it's like all I could see was him. I just wanted to get rid of him, but he had a lot of other priests, and they had surrounded me, and I didn't even get the chance to try and run away, really. Mostly I wasn't thinking, but they had me surrounded, and I died.
And he takes his arms around you and just pulls you close. Oh, my little Surrie. It was not your fault. I am so sorry that happened to you. You are not to blame. It's incredible that you are here today still. I'm sure our compatriots, your friends.
Yeah. They took me back to the Gloomfield, where we'd met Felicity and her sister.
The Fey girl, yes.
Yes. They took us to the Feywild and
To the Feywild. Ah.
There they were able to.
I am so glad they were able to bring you back.
I am too.
I don't know what I would do if something had happened to you. Permanently, of course. He just squeezes you almost to the point of pain.
It's okay.
I am so sorry I was not there for you. I know you are your own person. You are capable and strong. But you know I care and worry for you.
I know.
I didn't know exactly what, but you had a look in your eye when you walked in the door. I knew you were happy to be home, but thank you for telling me. I know it cannot have been easy.
I wanted to be the one to tell you, and I wanted to do it like this.
I understand. I am so sorry. All the time we were together, I had tried to protect the rest of you, knowing full well you could defend yourselves, but call it a fatherly instinct.
He did protect us.
I did my best. I'm sorry that I was not there this time.
It's not your fault.
Oh, no. And I'm not trying to make this about me, please understand. But I have an inkling of how you are feeling.
Yeah.
The look in Rhea's eyes when I told her what happened to me. Oh. I think that is a harder thing than sacrificing oneself, is to watch someone else have done the same. To know that it cannot be you.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothered by dying, but everyone else was.
I don't know what I would have done without you.
And so you didn't do without me.
Did we do the right thing?
What?
Bringing you back.
Oh, sorry. I'm not disagreeing. I am very happy to be alive. My family is very happy to be alive. I can repay this debt never that I owe to you, my friends, for bringing me back from the dead. That is something that I cannot regift, if that makes sense. And I'm grateful for it every day.
Sorry. You hear a sound like the tinkling of a wind chime.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel your earring snap to the back of your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of burns against your skin. But it's that same strange, you don't know if it's hot or cold. He really loves you, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well. All this talk of debts repaid. How interesting. And Iris, you kind of see Surrie's face maybe go a little strange for a moment.
Sorry, what is...
Go ahead, answer him, Surrie. Don't let me spoil this touching reunion.
What is troubling you? I mean, the topic of death is certainly not something to be taken lightly, but something else is troubling you. Would I notice an earring?
Give me a perception.
Let's whip out the old Hyros character sheet, huh? How about that? It's right here, just in case.
All right.
Oh, yeah, nope, never mind.
Oh, Hyros.
I mean, oh, that's right.
He's so strong.
Look, it's not a negative, but it's also not a positive. It's a nothing. 15.
It's kind of hidden behind her hair.
Sure.
So no, you don't see it.
That's mostly knowledge anyway, I guess.
I'm not sure entirely yet what it means, but I have a debt of my own.
In coming back, you mean? I understand if you do not want to talk too much about it, but if there's anything I can do to help, you have only ask. Rhea and I, we are your family, and you are family to us.
I know.
I understand. Things might have been easier for me just with the whole Barovia situation. I know that sort of magic is difficult and can take a toll on people. It cost Van Richten everything. Well, no. Only his life. My musings are getting away from me. I apologize. You have a home here, Surrie. For as long as you wish to stay. Always.
I know. Thank you, Dad.
My little Surrie. Squeeze you until I get
almost a neck cracking.
Can I have a conversation with Rhea?
Sure.
Cool.
Were you guys done?
If as long as you guys are.
Oh, yeah, if you guys are done.
Yeah.
You don't have to be done.
There's always more time.
We'll circle back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so walking along the lakeside, you speak with Rhea. Kashek.
May I ask you something?
But of course.
Why do so many of your children live at home? There seems to be no reason that they need to do so.
What an insightful and loaded question. Many do not live here. The Hearth is somewhat of a hub. They come, they go, they travel the world, see its sights, live their adventures, and every once in a while they start to miss the cooking and come back for some time.
No, that is what I mean. Why do they come back?
Well, because we are family, Kashek.
I don't understand.
What is it that eludes you? Tell me your mind.
Are they not fully grown?
They are, but that does not mean they don't need their mama and dada every once in a while.
But they are fully grown. I'm all in with her. So
Mhm,
nice try.
mhm. It's you're with
I think
the.
you come from a hard place, Kashek, yes? I imagine survival is very difficult where you come from.
It can be. More survive than not, though, from their adolescence.
Let me rephrase. I think survival is a bigger question on a daily basis than it is here.
You do have plenty for water, he says, looking at the stream. I am also told that it can fall from the sky.
Have I seen it rain yet? I have to
Yeah.
imagine.
I have also seen it fall from the sky here.
Indeed it does. One of the many miracles that makes life on our world possible.
Is this snowman responsible for it?
There is no one responsible for it, Kashak. It is the way the world turns.
Well, I am certainly getting what I was looking for leaving the desert. Wanting to see the wider world.
But here, though our lives in Wyvern Glen are hardy, to be sure, I think because survival is not always in question, our relationships with one another have the room to be more personal and sustainable. My children come back to see me not because they need me anymore, but because they wish to see me. And I wish to see them.
You fleshy folk. You just continue to keep in touch.
We
I
do.
would not even know where to look for my parents. I have not seen them in...
It's gonna sound stupid, but it's long for him.
Mhm.
I have not seen them in nearly 10 years.
Does that ever make you sad, Kashak?
No, that is why I was confused. I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself. And if I had children someday, I don't know that I would expect to see them after they were learned and grown.
There are many things essential to life more than water and food. For us, here, love is as important as any of these things. And so we need to refill on love just as we drink water every day and eat every day.
Love?
Yes. Do you not know of this?
This is very foreign to him. They don't, in my mind, the owlfolk of the desert do not mate for life.
Love is a thing that binds us and makes life easier. Makes bringing up children easier and fulfilling.
Is this why Surrie is back here?
I think so. I think Surrie suffers from a distinct lack of love. And she has found it here, and we have all of it to give her in the world.
Could I have some?
Just looking at you completely.
Oh, my dear Kashak.
I could carry it with me in my bag.
Why not instead of in your bag, you carry it here? And she just sort of gestures to her. To her
My
breast.
gizzard?
Yes. Why don't you take all the extra love I have to bear and put it deep down safe in your gizzard?
I hope it is not destroyed, but I will eat some.
You don't eat it, Kashek, you feel it. However, my husband would say an important component of food is also love, so to each their own.
So you feel this love for Hyros, your mate,
Very deeply.
and you two continuously live together, despite the fact that you have already born and raised children, 5 no less.
We do. We have much more to explore together.
So it can exist both between parents and their children, but also two disparate people.
There are many different kinds. As many as there are people to feel them.
Must they be of the same race? You and Hyros are both
Tieflings
Yeah.
for the ease. They may call him something different in the desert. He knows what a tiefling is.
Certainly they need not be. All that is required for love is that two individuals are good for one another.
Could an elf and a dwarf experience this love?
Most certainly they could. If they were so alike.
He walks in silence for a few moments.
Oh, okay.
He's pondering.
Can love be lost? Do
Sadly,
you
yes.
have it forever?
Yes. If it is sometimes and sometimes not. That is up to the individual.
And when it is lost, do you feel that?
As you would any other wound to your body.
Too bad he can't smile. No, he won't be smiling.
Interesting. I must speak to someone about this revelation.
I hope I have been helpful, Master
You
Gajek.
have. They did not explain it as well as you.
Well, I have been alive a long time. I have figured out some things.
Thank you for imparting this wisdom.
Thank you for asking.
I wish I could give you something in return.
You have. You keep my daughter safe.
If you find any blades, cherish them. And if you find yourself blocked by a door, strike it thusly.
And he knocks on his staff.
I give you this gift of wisdom.
She just reaches out a hand and kind of takes both your talons in her hand. Thank you, Kashek. That is excellent advice.
How was your night, honey?
You guys talked about the same thing.
Can I just...
I met both the smartest and dumbest.
This is everyone's quarterly reminder that at any given time, Freddy can knock us all out of the park.
Anyway,
Wouldn't me?
all right.
Might we return to the group?
Oh, but of course. We've become a little scattered. I think that Surrie had something she wanted to talk to my husband about in private. But let's round up the flock, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah, and you do so, heading back along the path, trying to catch up with everybody else.
Before we do get caught up, there's one more thing I want to say to Hyros. When I said the Feywild before, you seemed troubled or surprised.
Surprised to be certain, yes. I don't know much, but Rhea does have some knowledge or friends there. It's never quite certain to me, the way it works. She tells me what she can, but, well, I may have told you this before, but it was Rhea's meeting with a new friend that encouraged our discussion of beginning adventuring, she and I, separately into the world. Mm-hmm. And so we did for a year or so. And she indeed still does go out from time to time. It is mostly me who is home all of the time, though she is here for much of it. But it was her meeting with someone of the Feywild, I believe, that put her on this path. Inspired her to take up her adventuring ways once again. She was, well, for a time before I went and tied her down, unfortunately. She was an adventurer in her younger days. Yes. But she knows of the Feywild at this point, some to a degree, and what magics she can do, how she used to, how I would send my letters to her. That was her or her friend, perhaps? I do not know. Passing messages between us. But you know me, I am a very simple man of the mundane world. I see a thing that is a tree or evil, and I will chop it down.
Yeah. Alright.
That is all?
For now.
Not to worry. In your own time. There is no rush. You will be here for as long as you like. I insist you do not leave tomorrow. You
No.
need at least a day to recover.
Yeah.
Good.
That was my plan anyway.
Good. Let's go find everyone else. Yes.
Anything else? Any other? This is our beach episode, so go to town. The time is yours. What would you like to do?
Do Alcyone and I get sandwiched in between Hyros, Surrie, Ray?
They're approaching.
Well, while all of this is happening, these conversations, Hyros and Surrie is happening, Kashek and Ray is happening, so you're left alone with Alcyone. Any money there? What do you guys talk about?
You like food?
He's getting big.
Mm-hmm.
As you say that, he dives face first into the river and starts backing up, scooting his little boot back towards the shore, and pulls up just an enormous rainbow trout. And proceeds to immediately tear it to smithereens, blood covering his tiny little face.
Wow.
Is he eating that or playing with it? Can't break his little heart like that.
No. He does seem to be happy to be back among the trees.
Yeah, he does.
You need to talk to somebody.
I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. That's all. It can be me if you like. Plenty of listening ears at home. I mean, ears ready to listen if you want. That's what I mean. The only ones who are going to eavesdrop are mums, and they don't live with us.
You seemed a little strange earlier.
Oh, is that new?
Stranger than usual.
Ah, thanks. I have a reputation to uphold. Yeah. Did I tell you why I was back here last time?
I don't think so.
No, that sounds very like me. Save information until the point where it's most dramatically interesting.
Would you like me to do something dramatically interesting?
No. You can always be relied upon for that. You've got natural instincts.
Thank you.
It was a compliment.
Oh, thank you.
Last time I found my way home was after I ran away from the shepherds. And I stayed here for about a year. I don't know, I'm just remembering what that was like. Coming back from that mess of a situation.
It must be difficult to leave a life that you chose for yourself behind.
Well, that's why I left it behind, because it wasn't what I chose anymore. They were not what I thought they were.
You don't dislike your home or your parents?
No. God, have you met a more dislikable person than my dad?
Yes.
I meant that in like a... It's impossible to dislike him. He's the epitome of likability. And my mom, God, just warm and caring and all that delightful stuff. And I love that. I appreciate it. Of course I do. And I just worry. Well, I went looking for trouble, and I found it.
And you worry it might catch up to you?
I just wonder when, I guess. I want to be on my terms, if that's a choice that I have. I don't know how, but they're connected with this weird shit, this herald shit. I don't know how, I don't know what it is. But they said that name, and that is a name I heard.
Well, we're seeking out a repository of knowledge. So?
Yeah. I do love those. Are you comfortable here?
I don't know. In what sense?
Not outwardly, but you seem kind of restless. Is it seeing Hyros again?
No, I'm happy to see him again. It just feels like there are bigger things in motion. Although this is a big thing in motion. I'm happy that we get to take a bit of a rest. That's important.
You think we're wasting time?
No. That's what I mean. The other wheels are still turning, but this is an important one for us to turn as well. I don't know. I'm a bit worried about how I might be received in Malone. I'm worried about what happens after Malone. I'm worried we'll get back to the capital and worse things will have happened, but
It's an awful lot of worrying.
we'll cross those bridges when we come to them.
It just sounds a bit exhausting, you know?
I'm pretty hardy.
No, that I can tell. It was a mean thought, I think. I don't know if it was mean. Definitely uncouth, though. You certainly are hardy. You haven't died yet.
I've come close.
My dad and my adopted sister both.
It happens to the best of us. And often it does. Okay.
Rhea.
Choking on a fishbone.
Oh my god,
Isn't
okay.
that what their gizzards are for, or does he not have a gizzard?
I don't know what he has. Oh my god.
You might want to go
Yeah,
slap him.
I could poke him a little bit.
He hacks up an entire fish's head.
You're gonna come back.
Impeccable timing.
Is anyone going to eat that?
I don't know how this works. I don't know if I can do this again. Oh my.
You guys are gonna find Kashek back at the hearth,
You need.
having taken up needlepoint. It says love is stored in the gizzard.
Okay, merch idea. Yes. I pick him up. You keep breathing. That's your only job. Alright.
You've got enough to worry about. Don't give yourself more than necessary.
If I put him down, does he go for the fish head again?
Oh yeah.
No. Okay, piece of plastic from a cat. I'm just gonna chuck
Starts
that in the
taking
river.
his little beak and takes
Nope,
the eyeball out.
Nope. Fine. Smaller bites, please.
No.
Smaller bites.
He starts immediately trying to swallow.
No.
Let's go find the rest of them, huh?
Just chuck it in the river. Yes.
He kind of pouts and goes stomping down the road. All right. So eventually the group kind of congregates back together, maybe looping around and making their way back to the hearth.
Having no idea that conversation just happened, I will skip up to Alcyone. I will take her arm. And I'll say, "Everything all right, sister?"
Of course. How could it not be? Back home in all the places that are home.
Believable.
Oh, that's just a thing that... It's a line from a play.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It's a dumb play.
Oh, all right, well, I never will.
Good.
I know you are.
Can I look at Surrie?
You're welcome to. She's
yeah.
right there.
Yeah. And can I discern whether or not she had the talk? With a 23.
The top. Oh.
What do you think, Surrie?
Pretty sure it's too late for
Yes. Sin.
We make our way back to the hearth, in which delightful smoke ushering forth from the chimney of it. And as you make your way back into the house, Ginny and Maeve haven't missed a beat and have been working on dinner the entire time that you've been out in between lunch, walking along the river.
Wow.
It's not even their house, and they can't stop.
Some of grandmothers are like.
They're
I
the
mean,
only ones
apparently.
I've ever known, so I'm gonna have to
Right.
say yeah. That's all I got.
Walking in, and they kind of coming out of the kitchen. Alcyone! So skinny. Come. Everyone, sit down. It's time for dinner.
Yes, Mum, thank you so much. It smells wonderful.
Oh, damn well sure it does.
I missed you too. And I'll lean down all the way.
Go get your skinny brother.
Alright.
And this one, my new granddaughter. Yes, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
So skinny! Come, eat.
Sorry.
No, she's sorry. Not sorry.
You are looking a little weaker on the hips too. Come, eat.
Are you kidding? All right. There's no arguing with them. There's no arguing with them. There's no arguing with
You're
them.
getting body shamed by your mom.
Yes. Well, you don't think I learned to be a lumberman from nowhere?
So you all sit down for a incredible and vivacious dinner.
Yeah. Adrastos does come down. He's not put a shirt on, but he has put his coat on, so nipples are covered.
We know it's you, Ian.
This boy does not put on his shirt for dinner. Oh, don't bother him, Maeve. He's just trying to express himself, aren't you, you little peach?
Good lord. Wait, do you care about the Lord, right? Is anyone here?
Not, well,
Good, fuck it. It's not real.
Ginny and Maeve orchestrate you all, taking control of the evening. They sort of like place everyone at seats around the table, and Ginny actually takes up a seat next to you, little Miss Surrie.
Oh, great.
And as the plates start coming out and everyone starts ladling delicious looking food onto their plates, you might not be quite hungry yet since the very early lunch, but they won't take no for an answer. But the feasting commences, and Ginny takes her seat next to you, Surrie, and says, "So, as I understand, on your daring adventures someplace beyond the fog, Hearth did not explain it all to me very clearly. But I understand that you grew very close to him, is this yes?
Yes.
You don't need to be nervous around me, sweetheart. Please, she kind of takes your hand. Please, I only ask because I want to know. If you are to be my granddaughter, I must know a little bit about you, yes?
she's got those clammy grandma hands.
So, we have done a semi-adoption to you now, though you are full-grown. Did you not know your family?
Oh, I did.
Oh. Well, then, you did not get along, I am taking?
Yeah.
She just looks at you expectantly.
Much like yourselves, my parents and my brother were not tieflings as I am, and they were not quite happy about it.
Yeah, this I understand. Maeve and I could not have been more surprised when little Hyros had the giant horns. Well, you know, anyway, this, that, and the other thing. I understand. But this is no reason to treat a child poorly. Well, I can see this is a difficult subject for you. Grimama does not mean to pry. I just want to make you feel welcome at our table and our home, and
I
to know
do.
that you can tell us anything.
Thank you. I do.
Well, I mean not to keep you from your food. You're so skinny after all. Here, please. And she starts
Thank
scooping
you.
like various things onto your plate.
It should be noted that though most of the chairs are for regular sized folk, there are at least a handful of halfling chairs for whatever usage that both
He made
Ginny
them
and
high
Maeve.
chairs.
Well, if they're going to be here, they might as well be comfortable.
Would Kashak fit in one of the high chairs?
With enough effort, sure. Anything is possible.
He likes to be.
More like a perch, yeah.
He likes to be tall.
There you go. At some point, addressed us, who I imagine is directly across from you.
Sure.
So how's it been in the meantime?
Haven't gone back to the beach.
No? I tell you, you're missing out.
You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is that if you get tired of my boring old sister at any point keeping you company, and you want a little more, and he snaps his fingers in a brief flash of just sparks dizzle. Excitement, perhaps in your journey? Well, the excellent time we had at the beach drinking those drinks, I don't know what they were called, but you know what they were. Delicious.
Very,
Correct.
Very fruity.
Very delicious and very fruity.
We've got a bit of a to-do list right now. But I'm very eager to check everything off of it and be done of it.
Oh, I was wondering. Hey, you didn't happen to go in the realm of the college when you were doing your sort of walking about
No.
at all? You've been on your mission, yes?
Right, we haven't been exactly near the college. Although your sister, I believe, has a new friend who...
A friend.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Oh, you met her?
I'm being polite.
Oh, that's... You know. Sorry, we don't get a whole lot of that. Apologies. I mean, we do, but...
A lot of what?
Oh... You know what I... Polite. It is the sort of, kind of...
I don't know.
Oh, I could say what actually happened, but I fear both of you equally, so...
Huh.
That's silly.
Well, mark me down as scared and horny.
Huh. I'll find out. Well, if you do manage to head that way, let me know. However way you can. I can either make things A, easier for you, or harder if you like that, in that direction, or I might have
Hello?
items that may be needing retrieved from there if you happen to be in the vicinity.
Yeah, the
were they
third point sounds more important to you.
Were they previously... Were they previously your items?
Yeah.
Because of the way you said it, dear brother.
It
Yes,
sort of sounds like they might not have been.
Well, no, they were mine. The problem is long and the short, I helped make some things that I did not receive full credit for. Should have. They were my project, my idea, but I, of course, was not in charge, you may say. The bureaucracy of schooling and mages in particular meets at a horrible conjunction with the mage
Please.
college,
Oh,
and
I love that hand.
Terrible
In front of your grandmothers!
they could barely see.
I think they're blind.
A horrible combination of bureaucracies going both directions makes things uncomfortable for a free spirit like myself. So, just drop me a line however you can if you're going that way. I can be a help to you, and you can be a help to me. We're family after all.
That we are.
And we're friends after all.
That's true.
And he sort of like does this little the sound doesn't match the movements exactly, but he does like a little movement with his fingers, and the wood clacks in like it honestly sounds like a galloping horse for a second.
That's pleasing.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna actually have some more of that, if that's all right.
You can have mine.
No, it slaps.
You're the one that taught Hyros that.
Sailing term, but that's
Right.
he got it from me, of course.
Not that it isn't delicious, but I cannot physically fit any more in me.
I used to think that way.
This is just Ian wearing horns!
I used to be a quitter too.
And a coat.
Yeah, and
No shirt.
no shirt.
That's
now.
why I like him so much.
Shorts. Well, let me know when you're done too. I'll take care of cleaning up.
Here, please.
Oh, good, great. Grimma, if I can go ahead and take any of those out of your way. Are you done? All right, that's fine. Yep, all right. Grab that.
What did you do to them?
Nothing.
Alright.
You offering to do the dishes? What do you want?
Grandmama, I would have taught it by now. You know that I am a kind boy with a very gentle heart.
You're already in the wheel. Go to the dishes.
What, so I can get a second log cabin? All right.
I have yes. So dinner starts wrapping up. Anything else? What do we do? What are we doing?
Mama, Mommy, I think I can take over the rest of it for now. I will go make sure Adrastos is not burning them. It smells strange in the kitchen. I will go solve that. Thank you so much for dinner. I will see you on the weekend, yes.
I would protest, but I'm so full of poison berry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my sweet
Then,
baby. Go give me a kazoo.
Yes.
Mwah.
Mommy, you take Mama and get her home carefully, please.
Oh yes, I always do.
It's a long walk across the square, I know.
Yes, and so the two sweet halfling ladies, full of boysenberry and good food, pick themselves up, say a fond farewell to all, and to make their ways home.
Oh. Thank you, my friends. I was hoping for you to meet them while you were here, but I did not count for it to be immediately as you arrived. They are a lot at once, and you have only just returned.
That's alright.
Very good. Well, as I say, I will go help the boy. Please, take some time, digest. It will take you the rest of the night, I promise. But we can go ahead and retire to the couches, or even outside. I have a lovely fire pit I like to maintain. There are a few things that go very well when they are smoked over a fire. So, if you are, I know, but it's one of the things you do when you are home.
There are no armadillos up here, are there?
What is that?
Describe for me an armadillo.
This is their shell. They can roll up into a ball.
So they're like turtles?
Like tortoises.
No.
Similar. They are protected from the harsher elements and predators.
I don't think we have any of those.
Oh, they go wonderfully over.
Not protected from you, Kashek, so it would seem, pointing to your armadillo's shell shield.
Oh, I found this one.
All the same.
Oh, they're like those little crabs that
Like
we
hermit
found
crabs.
with the Drastos at
Yeah.
the beach, where they move houses sometimes.
No, this was a carcass picked clean by the vultures.
Oh.
I figured I could utilize the shell, and I have.
See, I like how this guy thinks. Use all aspects of something.
Indeed, why would
Weren't you supposed to be doing the dishes?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Dad,
what are you back for?
Dad took over,
Oh,
so...
Drastos, we're gonna put a bell on you!
Dad took over, I was burning everything.
How much do you want to bet that Alcyone's actually put a bell on him when he was asleep?
Yeah, weird when you usually wash things with water.
Look, I've actually been doing a lot of thinking about washing things and cleaning them.
Please tell me.
So, water is actually going to make it more difficult. Chance for mildew. Don't like that, especially aboard the ship. So, you introduce a slight static effect to it. Clean it much faster. The particles get removed. Clean.
What if the object is flammable?
Yeah, well, I haven't perfected it.
I have a feeling you say that a lot.
Well,
Life
What?
is a work in progress.
that's the one. That's the one. I like that one, sister. I like that one.
Yeah?
to your brother? He
Instigate
loves
more
you.
in
I
family.
am told.
I know, but it's more fun.
It's like having another Alcyone. Ugh, bother.
I know, we've spent so much time together
Don't tell
now.
her that.
No. Where is she, by the way?
Wait, where is she?
She's not inside right now.
Where indeed?
Or she's not down in this room with everybody else.
She ate with us though?
Yeah.
And she went upstairs? Or went somewhere?
Yeah. She lost sight of her around the time you were dismissing the grandmas.
Jinkies.
Can I make an insight check then?
On?
Her, as she left.
Oh, sure, yeah.
A retroactive one.
I've got a passive perception of 17 when I've noticed her leaving.
I have a past perception of 19.
21 on the insight check. Was that I want to be alone, or I'm gonna go brood?
As an expert on brooding.
Damn, plus 8.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, you sense, yeah, there's some
while those two were bickering, can I go try to find Alcyone?
Give me a stealth check.
What's the light situation like in here?
I don't know. Lit probably just by
There's candles everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
Probably
lamps.
normal light.
Yeah. Mostly lamps. Yeah, that gotta be safe.
Yeah. A wooden house. On the stealth check, 17.
Damn it!
So Kashek sees you go.
And what my passive 17?
Yeah.
And Surrie sees you go.
Oh, if we're going by passive, sweet.
Yeah, I was like, he just rolled words.
Yeah. So Kashek sees you go. Surrie sees you go. Everyone else is in their cups.
Did you say that you were going to go look for Surrie?
No.
Yeah.
Or
Or Alcyone.
I will go look for Alcyone upstairs.
Is she upstairs?
Yeah, there are 6 doors upstairs.
Are they labeled?
Yes. So you see, it is an elbow hallway. So like the rooms managed to
Like wrap around?
fill up the entire top floor of the house, which is just as large as the bottom floor. Each of the children has elected their own flair for marking their doors. On the first one on your left, the one closest to the stairs, you see the name Alcyone. It is written in common, but it's using the styles of an infernal script. There is one that just has.
Please tell me Adrastus' door is just like scorched.
Well, the next one, the one next to it, you see has a small eye hook on it, but there's nothing on that anymore. Instead, you see a rune etched in scorch marks on the door.
Yep.
On the next door to it, on that one, there is an eye hook, and this one has an intricate design, sort of like a god's eye sort of thing, but purely from links of what looked like chainmail.
Oh, that one must be precise.
The other door is missing. Instead leads into a dark room, and you think you hear crickets closer than they should be. The other actually just has, very plainly, in leather-stamped letters, caster on it.
Aww.
He's normal. He is the black sheep.
Well, and actually, looking where his his letters are for his name, if you look closely at the doors, you can see there were once these simple tiles on each of their doors.
And then I knock on Alcyone's door very softly.
A moment passes, and you hear a creak in the floorboards, and the door opens just enough to see your face. Oh, good evening.
You know, and as an expert on brooding.
I'm afraid I'm not as stealthy as you are.
If you do need to be alone, I understand, but I'm afraid I can't offer much by way of advice, but I can at least listen if you need someone to talk to. Or at.
Yeah, come in. And she'll open the door.
Okay.
It is not a clean room, but an orderly room. There is a method to the way this is organized, and from her telling you that she was here for much of the past year beforehand, it seems well lived in recently. Yeah, she's got a few instruments here beyond the ones she carries with her, and a healthy-sized bed in the corner. Hyros does not skimp out on his kids.
Yeah.
It's not much, and it is, well, where do parents live, but it is home.
Have I had one of my own?
No?
No.
Not even a room?
No.
Strange. You slept with multiple people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess for the first few years after Briseis was born, we did share a room.
Until the accident?
Well, they realized pretty quickly that giving everyone their own room probably best.
I just very patiently sit on the floor and assume listening position.
What do you know about histories?
Scattered things. I picked up a bit in my time between leaving my monastery and meeting your father. I was looking for an artifact and I did a bit of research on my own.
So you're not unfamiliar with research?
I'm not very good at it, but I'm not unfamiliar with it.
What are you looking for, if I may? Sorry, she wouldn't have said if I may. That's a Hyros-ism that's coming out.
That's her dad.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I didn't really know at first. There were a lot of things I wasn't particularly good at my monastery. Our mother, our goddess, apparently called for me to seek out this artifact of hers that had been lost.
This would be the moon?
Yes. I didn't hear it. But to be entirely honest, I sort of wonder sometimes if it was just a ploy to send me away, thinking that I wouldn't come back. But it, as it turns out, it really did exist. And I will show you the ring.
That's the one that lets you call upon the moon, yes?
With someone's voice, I'm not entirely sure whose.
I don't know if it matters much, end of the day.
You'd think that.
Then you understand my problem. You were looking for something, sent to look, but you didn't know what for. That's where I am. I am looking for questions that I think I have answers to, but without the right question to frame it, it's useless. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like I have punchlines, but what sets them up, what the joke actually is, escapes me, and I can't find it, and nowhere seems to know. And I'm frustrated that if I don't find... I wouldn't even mind if it found me, if the answers, the questions found me first, that's fine. One of these two things needs to connect before whatever comes of it. This part doesn't make much sense, and I seem like an insane person.
No, it's just unfortunate because the method by which I finally found my question was purely accidental.
Yeah.
We were trying to accomplish something utterly different by that point, and it just sort of fell into my lap.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into other things first, but...
Oh, it should be noticed, Alcyone has left her hat off for the entire time she's been here.
Mm-hmm. It's a sun hat, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why this is what I'm thinking of, but I'm sort of... Have you ever seen a spider make a web?
Yeah, I have. Plenty of spiders out here. Hope you don't dislike them.
Don't really feel any particular way about them.
Fair enough.
I'm sort of thinking of when they go off to make an intricate bit off on one corner and they've caught something in a different corner. You've been focusing so hard on it. I'm not saying that you have... It feels unwise to leave it go now when things seem so urgent, but sometimes coming back to a problem after you've let it go for a while gives you a refreshed perspective on it.
Forest for the trees a bit, you say?
Sure.
I don't disagree. My methods are nowhere nearly as rigorous as my brother's.
There's something that I've been mulling over. Have you asked your brother for help?
I might. He's wrapped up in his own projects all the time. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Perseus and I butted heads so much. I didn't know that you could get along with a sibling. And then my brother sort of became more of a person, you know, when you do when you're a child. And
Thanks to the last year of my life.
there's I found a connection with him. Believe it or not, he's honestly the one I'm closest to out of all of them.
You're very similar.
We're
Not
driven,
entirely.
We're driven from here.
Not entirely.
Well, no one's entirely different from anywhere. Although getting him to put a shirt on is almost impossible. I think that's why he learned magic, just to escape being clothed whenever he can help it. He's a deviant. Fucking bears. She says with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't mean to bore your ears off.
You're not boring me.
I think I'm at a crossroads. I just didn't think I'd be at another one again so soon, you know? My dad lived his entire life in and around this village. Can you believe that?
If I hadn't gotten caught up in a wild goose chase for this, I might have done the same thing.
I've been away from home most of the past 10 years. And I don't know. I don't know if it's helping being back here. I don't know if it's driving me insane. Or if I'm driving myself insane. I'm sorry. I'm usually a little more... Being home is...
You've heard me try to put a sentence together.
I know, but I can usually do sentences. You understand. No offense.
None taken.
Unless you want offense.
No.
Alright.
Unless you're low on offense.
I don't.
You can borrow some.
Replenish your stocks of offense. Every time I'm back, it's sort of... Your body, your spirit maybe, remembers how you were, the habits and patterns you had as a child, or last time you were home. Places have a way of doing that too. It was so itinerant for so long, it's the only place I know that's done that for me. Did you ever go back to your monastery?
No. I hardly think they'd even allow me back in.
Why not? You did what they asked, even if they didn't want you to. Biggest middle finger of all.
We're expected to adhere to a certain code of conduct, and fairly quickly I began to deviate from that myself.
Is it one of those anti-feelings codes? I've read about those.
Yes, and that isn't just it. Everything we do is in service to our mother, so anything deemed unnecessary to that service is just unnecessary. I, as I am now, didn't even exist a year and a half ago. Didn't have a name. Didn't have any goals. Didn't have any preferences for anything. Just did what needed to be done, and then that was enough. Until it wasn't.
Yeah. I wasn't who I am today 2 years ago either. I get it, I think. Much as anyone can. No one ever really gets everyone's full story, but yeah, you can't. No point trying. I don't know. I like you, Seren.
Thank you. I like you as well, for what it's worth.
Is that a question?
Sometimes it's difficult for me to identify what the feeling is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, to sort of sit on those for a while.
I respect you.
Great.
That was apparent.
I respect you too. You're capable. Got a good head on your shoulders. Shush. Your heart's in the right place. It's annoying.
It really is.
Look, see, that's how I know you're smart. You know there should be conflict. Just enough. I don't know. Thanks for letting me vent.
Of course.
Yeah. No. I'm going to have a drink, maybe. If you're not too far from food, liquid might be a different.
Why not?
There's usually some good mead that we, you can sort of purchase things out from the tavern and have a keg for yourself. They don't get an incredible amount of business all seasons of the year. All right, well, I'm gonna go back downstairs for a while. Yeah, you're welcome to sit up here if you like, or if I can show you the muse's room.
No, thank you.
Or any of them is.
You might not come out.
It's...
She's not here.
Thank you, Alcyone.
Just saying, she's got some weird shit in there.
And as you make your way back downstairs, Hyrose has indeed brought out the mead.
I was gonna say I better dress this, and I've already.
Oh, you have. Ah, good. You're back finally. You get to drink this mead.
He said, uncorking the barrel with his thumb.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. This is a fantastic stuff. I don't make it because I have no idea how you get the bees to be so wrangled. But it's not my business. Hers is a little bit tipsy.
It is loading. This mead.
Please.
Loading.
Oh, please.
I planned for this.
Please.
This is what you planned
Trevor's like, thank God I get to do something.
It is
One note for the session, please.
This is the easiest. This is the least I've ever done in a session.
I'm sorry.
But I can name the mead. It is the world famous, or at least the Wolfswood famous, Muma's Mead from Malorn, made by the friendly Furbold Tavern owner Muma Saul.
Furbolg.
Oh yeah, it is rich and sugary and honeyful and delicious.
The Saul special, delicious.
It's very good.
It's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
More of the poison you drink.
You might like this.
Have you ever had
It's-
honey before, Kashek?
Yes, I have enjoyed honey.
It is essentially a little more drinkable honey with a little bit of that poison, as you say. Kick, bite.
It's good.
If you don't drink over much of the poison, it just sort of makes you feel...
You've seen Hyros drink like 3 mugs now, so...
It's actually made.
The bees.
In that sentence you said.
He reaches into his bag and he brings out a little bowl that might be used for like begging is not the right word, but like an alms bowl.
Yeah.
He brings that out.
Here, for you.
I will assemble some.
He grabs the cask and just pours a little bit in there. No pressure, but it is delicious. You'll be missing out.
The slowest nod in the world.
Oh yeah, got a good head.
That does
Yeah,
help, yes.
Get a good...
How did you teach the bees to make this?
As I say, my friend, the bees and their mysteries are beyond me. All I know is this, Suma?
Mumas Mead by the famous Muma Saul.
So
Mumas has his secrets. I do not know. Maybe you milk the bees. I don't know where they...
I don't think that's what it is.
as he tastes it and it turns out that he likes it, Beetle is going to come out
Oh,
of the
there he
rabbit
is.
skull and crawl down his arm and also taste some out of the alms bowl.
That is what I was going to do.
Anytime Beetle comes out, the baby rushes over and looks up at him and tries to kind of paw him.
Do not eat him. He's a friend. Here, I have something for you, and I will, as I always do when there is something new to taste or smell.
All right.
Little Pinky,
Seren.
he'll be fine.
Alright.
With the maid,
Yeah, just like a little lick.
he sniffs at it and kind of, you know,
Just a
his
little.
tongue is like an owl tongue. It's like way longer than you
Yeah.
think it's gonna be every time. And he sort of like laps around your finger a couple, and then
Yeah, that's all you get.
and he kind of just rolls onto his back,
Yeah, see?
moving his feet up in the air.
Beetle would have swatted at him as he got close.
Oh.
Don't get close.
Like
his
that
wing
little scary
casings,
scream
yeah.
sound, like air escaping from a balloon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub his belly and see if he likes that.
You start to rub his belly, and he kind of reacts like he's gonna like attack your arm, but then he just kind of his eyes go a little wide, and he thinks about it for a second, and then he just kind of lays
Oh,
back
no.
and spreads out like starfish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
Tiniest fur rug in the world.
No!
Feather rug.
Yeah.
Wow, he's cute.
That's all you get.
As you say that and start to pull away, he grabs both feet and hands around your arm again because he doesn't want your hand to move.
Right. I meant of the maid.
Ah, yes. This is so nice. I cannot tell you, my friends. And having drinks again, it's like we're back in the blue water.
Yeah.
She just gives a forlorn sigh, as is her way.
Have you been back to Barovia, Iris?
Oh, just once, since we were all there for the.
Oh.
I made a little trek after I got back from my carriage sickness. Do you call it?
Yeah.
Goodness me. Felt I hadn't done my level best to make sure that everything was running smoothly in Dawnstead. I am no leader of men by any means, but there are a few more things needed of moving.
He said incorrectly.
Alright. How's Casta doing?
I did hear from Doric last time I was there. He is working the boy hard.
I'm sure.
But there is I wouldn't call it a softness to Doric. But he has a kindness to it.
He does.
And I think meeting Castor in the way that he did and you all did, I don't think he forgets that. I know Castor certainly won't, nor will I. But Doric seems well. He is terrorizing people who are going to become monster hunters.
Well.
That seems as happy as he's going to be these days.
You didn't happen to pop in on Irina while you were there, did you?
No, I didn't feel comfortable doing that without her express say-so first.
I've just been thinking about her lately.
I know you're supposed to invite vampires in, but I also think that should extend the other
I
direction.
think everyone should just invite each other.
Is this the woman that Doric spared?
He had feelings about letting her live, yes. She went through a great ordeal, none of which was her fault. I can be no judge of that.
He told me about her. It pleased me to hear that he is growing.
He seemed to have quite the vendetta against them, which is understandable. But she is a person first.
And we knew her before.
You know of his little game then?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a game.
But he does.
Ah,
The orc does not think of it as a game either.
you know of his little game then?
I am partially responsible for it. Not that it makes me proud to admit so. It was not my intention.
Do you disapprove?
Yes, but I cannot dissuade him.
It'd be hard to.
Sorry,
Kashek.
you have no idea.
Well, he has not, as far as we know, made any attempt on her life thus far, so perhaps that is growth.
I'm not worried for her. She could tear him limb from limb if she really wanted to.
Well, he does not think that.
He's welcome to.
You should not think that either. It is not a guarantee, but
We're all more capable than we were when we arrived.
How long have you known Dwark?
5 years or so.
Then his crusade is a new one for him.
Define new.
I mean, he's been alive for quite some time.
Within
More than 5 years, certainly.
Within the last 5 years?
Yes.
Do you think he could be dissuaded?
Dwarrick is almost there. A little farther yet to go, but it is a path that he must walk himself down. I will not share any intimate details of our relationship. It is an understanding between the two of us.
Of course.
You are free to ask him, though.
You will forgive our curiosity. He is merely a friend of ours, and a compatriot through many dangers, so...
Of course.
Always cagey he was about himself, which is entirely within his purview to be.
The curiosity is completely understandable. He is no longer dangerous to you.
No, indeed.
No longer?
Well, he's never been dangerous to you in the time that you have known him. That is after he met with me.
Understood.
Then it appears we owe you gratitude.
Did you make him so irritating?
No.
No, he's always been that way.
No. I found him that day, and he makes quite the impression on you.
Doesn't he, though?
He used to be angrier, if you can believe that.
I wouldn't call anger his defining trait nowadays, so I can believe it.
I understand what it's like to be angry.
Perhaps anger is not the exact word I am looking for. His hatred has abided. Somewhat.
Well, we each would be dead without the other. And so, I consider him a boon companion to the end of days.
I'm glad to know that he took on so many students. It gives him something to work towards that is much more fruitful.
It seems good for him. From what little we know of him, having that sort of goal in mind with the Abbey, as soon as we had reclaimed it from its previous inhabitant, there was a hope in it for him. Whatever that means for him, but... well.
I sensed that when I saw him. I was just dismayed to find so many more marks upon him.
We came up against quite a lot of vampires who were not as Arena is. They weren't in control of themselves. They were a danger.
Are you trying to imply that
That it was necessary?
No.
As Seren understands it, he does that when he kills a vampire because that's the only time she saw him do it.
It has to be a real vampire.
Oh.
It has to be a true vampire. Spawn doesn't count.
So he only did it once.
He only did it once on the entire time we played Strahd.
And it was
Strahd.
It was
Yeah.
right.
And
If you will forgive me, there is no possible way he managed to fill up his entire arm in the time you were in Barovia.
Oh no, we only saw him do that once.
Yes.
Ah.
You don't think it's a good thing? What he does?
I don't. He does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be like overly cryptic,
Yeah.
but like he does consider this to be an intimate relationship. Like he's not going to
He's not
just
gonna give Dwarf.
No,
he's
yeah,
not
no,
going to
yeah.
give Dwarf shit away.
Yeah.
No, this is more crumbs than we ever got from Dwarf, so...
That's true.
I'm glad to see he has taken on students of his own.
This is a slight amendment.
At some point, once everyone else goes to bed, or if we go share a room somewhere, or
I'm taking Briseis' room because I bet she's got the biggest bed.
then I will go up with you.
There are all these perfectly fine trees for roosting. You know where Kashek's at.
Oh yeah, spend the night in the
Oh
woods.
god,
This
I
is-
mean,
this
there's
is
fucking
home.
leaves and shit. He's got bunkmates up there.
Oh,
Ah,
see, he's lonely sleeping alone.
What a lovely kind of tree.
Who? That's what I said.
You.
Just him,
I asked you first.
him, the baby, and an actual owl
Yeah.
up there together.
Jack, I understand that you're getting ready to go to sleep.
Yes.
If I could ask you something,
Of course.
I think it would be good for him to be where he's supposed to be for the night.
How much does he weigh now?
Oh, how much does a bulldog
How much does
weigh?
Bolo weigh? 30 pounds?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you please keep an eye on him?
Of course.
He seems very determined to injure himself. Maybe. Yeah!
I think you're the strong.
I can tie him to the tree if you would like.
I really don't like that idea.
Not like
He can sleep on the ground. I just,
I will keep an eye on him.
thank you.
Or Beetle will while I sleep. Beetle? Indeed.
It doesn't like actually. He can't do anything about it. He just
Flicks his
snaps
wings.
at it.
It's just his wing casings just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. He actually does like he does do like the beetle thing where, but it's a beetle. It's not.
Yeah.
There's no weight to it.
He gets it.
Yeah.
Does Beetle not sleep?
Be polite to
He does
Mr.
not
Beetle.
Beetle. He's a spirit of the
Please.
sun.
It's familiar.
Oh.
Yeah. No. It's not a. That's just his form.
It's one of the Tasha's options you can do with wild shape.
Yeah.
So anyway,
One day I'll have him there.
So you're taking Kashak, or excuse me, you're taking
Yes.
Kashak. You're taking the baby out.
Yeah,
Sleep
he'll-
under
he'll-
the stars. Wow, it's a big moment for you.
yeah.
What's his name again?
Good stuff. It's the same little term of endearment that
You're gonna need to spell that at some point.
will be said.
Well, look out!
Do you mind? I mean, I know we
No,
can,
of course
we can all
not.
have our own room, but
No, of course.
I owe you an apology.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of things have come into perspective pretty quickly. And it doesn't make it any better, but you know how I came up. You know what life was like for me before.
Mhm.
And there was something about coming from a place where everyone did everything for everyone all the time that made me really eager to do everything by myself, and then it sort of morphed into feeling like I had to do everything by myself. And I know that you really wanted to help and talk to me about things before, and I really wasn't letting you. And it's not fair, because I know that if something was bothering you, you would tell me. So I just wanted to apologise for that.
You don't have to apologise. I mean, if you're not ready to talk about something, you're not ready to talk about it. That's all. You know I'm here for you, and I know you're here for me. We're family.
That's all.
I'm afraid I'm in trouble.
With who?
I don't know. But I don't want to drag anyone else into it. So
If you needed something, you would never be dragging me.
it's not your feelings about it that I'm worried about.
Look at me. You're talking to her.
I see you.
Didn't like that. Oh my god. Well, if you are in trouble, I don't really care who's care about your feelings, if I helped or not. That's all I'll say. But don't feel like you can't ask.
I know. I just... don't want to drag you into something you have nothing to do with, that's all. It's not that I don't want to come to you or I don't trust you, I just... I've made enough trouble for the people I care about. I don't want to make any more.
I think trouble is made for us quite a bit. And I got some very good advice from someone I trust. There's no sense in taking something on yourself that isn't your burden. Just makes your burden even heavier.
Well, it is my burden.
I'm just saying I've got a free hand if you ever need one.
I know. It's just...
Maybe you don't. But
I don't know. I don't know what it all means. So maybe if things ever get more clear.
okay.
Hyros is going to sit down with Rhea when everyone else goes to bed and stuff. Just
Yeah, the night carries on.
Yeah.
We are, everyone gets a nice, lovely mead buzz, and then things start to quiet down. Kashek goes off to his tree. These two go off to Bunk and Bersace's room. You sit with your lovely wife around the hearth as the fire has burnt down to just coals and embers now.
Occasionally, I poke a bare toe at a coal that's getting away and just sort of like scoot it back in the fire.
You know I love when you do that.
I'm worried about them.
I know you are. But they survived Barovia. I think they can take care of themselves.
I know they can, but my mind tells me, yes, but I was there for that.
Did you ever consider, my most beloved, that they looked out for you in the same way you looked out for them?
Oh, I know they did. I would have died many more times if they had not been there.
Please don't mention it. My heart.
I am sorry. Again, it happened to me, so I can make light of it. I know it was hard. For them. For you.
Yes, you caused me no shortage of headaches. But it is worth it. My love, you know, it has been wondrous having you here again. That time we spent apart when I could not reach you was troubling to me.
Every night my letter did not get to you, I worried harder.
But nonetheless you returned. But if your heart ever calls for adventure again, I will not stop you.
Nor yours, of course.
You couldn't if you tried.
I would not dream. No. It was not me who saved you from that enormous bear all those years ago.
Oh, you need not remind me. I remember quite clearly.
My knight in shining armor you were.
Yes, I am quite strong, am I not?
The strongest, my love. The strongest.
Quite dashing.
I was about to become a blue pile of mulch.
You look good in this dress.
Well, you would have loved to see me throughout all of Barovia. Actually, you know, I know we have talked at length, but I was never distressed while we were there. It was only when
when the devil had taken Castor that I knew true fear. But even till then, even in the face of all that, is it selfish that I was having fun, though?
I do not think it is selfish, my love. I just think you know what you can accomplish and what you can't. And I think, as dire as things got, you knew that you had the strength. And your friends had the strength to see that quest through.
You're wise, my love.
I've been alive a long time. I've picked up a few things.
If you get the chance before they go, Surrie might need some motherly guidance.
This I can provide. Are you okay? Sometimes, seeing them, seeing old acquaintances, it can transport you. It can take you back to things you may perhaps wish more to forget.
We were not unscathed in Barovia, even if the four of us made it out alive.
My greatest regret in life is that I was not there with you.
Oh, my love, if you had been,
Oh, we would have chopped that bastard's head off in a week.
no match. No match would it have been. Sometimes I think, perhaps it is a darker joke, but what if Strahd's minions had captured anyone else by mistake? If they had gotten news, perhaps, or Briseis, God help them.
Oh, if only I wish they had.
I love all my children equally. Oh, Castor.
I would have yanked that devil out from his misty realm by his ear.
He would have wished he were a bear.
He would have wished he could have died.
I know they're going to leave soon, but I want them to stay as long as possible.
I know you do, brother. But they are very important people.
Oh, I know. Yes.
They have their journeys to take on.
I do.
I fear the road is troubled for them.
Have you heard anything?
They are headed to Malorn. Across their paths inevitably will cross Maith Lane, and I worry for them. The world is different than it was even a year ago. Things are not as stable as they once were. They talked of these heralds, the business in Caradhran, the plague in Verdine. Something is afoot and we do not have all the pieces yet.
No.
I'm starting to think maybe you and I should do our part.
I love you with all my heart.
My whole heart is yours.
Yes. Perhaps. But let us take these days, whatever they may be here.
I could not agree more. Knock up, my love. The children are asleep. Anybody else?
I think I lay awake for a little bit.
Okay.
And I just mess with my hearing. And I just think about what this bitch could have meant.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
In her room, Alcyone is just poring over every bit of text she has that could possibly be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And probably falls asleep leaning against her bed with it all split out in front of her.
Give me a investigation or history.
Okay. Oh, wouldn't you know they're the same? 13. Auspicious.
Nah, you're kind of kicking yourself for not absconding with more when you left. You know, you know something is really, really wrong, but you don't have all the pieces yet.
Yeah, and so eventually, exhausted, without getting changed or anything, she's just gonna curl up on her bed.
Okay.
Can I have retroactively done something?
Sure.
I set a snare before I went to sleep.
Okay.
I have one.
Definitely.
I need breakfast.
Okay. Is there something else? Let's call it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. You
Thanks, man. Thanks for letting
I
me...
did not.
No, but I didn't want to, like...